Shalom, welcome to Rob on the Rock. I'm Rob Vanhoff, and today I want to teach you an acronym, KEOY, and what it means. And I know it'll be something familiar to you once you get it, but I want to encourage you to remember it and to occasionally share it with a friend. It's something that a dear friend did for me and many others, and I want to pass on the good tradition. I want to share this acronym that I learned from a dear friend who now is with the Lord. And I still have an old phone where he had texted me this quite often. It's just a simple acronym, KEOY. And I know there's a number of other people that receive these same texts. It is keep eyes on, do you know what the Y is? Yeshua. Keep eyes on Yeshua. And the simple text would just be KEOY, like that, all caps. And of course, maybe you thought of it already, is the story that we read in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 14, starting on verse 22. Let's read that from the NASB. It says, immediately Yeshua compelled the disciples to get into the boat and to go ahead of him to the other side. This is on the Sea of Galilee, while he sent the crowds away. And after he had sent the crowds away, he went up onto the mountain by himself to pray. And when it was evening, he was there alone. But the boat was already a long distance from the land, battered by the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." And they cried out in fear. But immediately Yeshua spoke to them, saying, "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." Isn't that wonderful? Verse 28, Peter responded and said to him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And he said, "Come." And Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came toward Yeshua. But seeing the wind, he became frightened. And when he began to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." So son me, it says, which is actually a citation from many Psalms, have this same phrase, save me. Immediately, Yeshua reached out with his hand and took hold of him and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind stopped, and those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "You are truly God's Son." This is an amazing story, and what does it mean for us? It means for we who are believers like Peter, we have to keep our eyes on Yeshua. Back to our acronym here, KEOY, keep eyes on Yeshua. It's like that famous sailor's hold fast, that statement during the times of the storm, hold fast. Well, KEOY. Keep your eyes on Yeshua. And that doesn't mean you have a picture of him, a painting on the wall. It doesn't mean you have a crucifix. We see with the eyes of faith. We trust him. We trust he is with us. As David said in Psalm 23, "Yea, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are with me. Ki ata imadi. Ata imadi. You are with me." Do we really believe that? Do we trust in his presence in our life? Do we trust that we are walking with him right now in this moment? And when we focus on Yeshua, all those things like the wind and the waves, those things that distracted Peter, we have our own kinds of distractions, things that make us worry, things that feel like they were going to overcome us or destroy us or overtake us, or to make things impossible, or to crush us, whatever that is. KEOY. Keep your eyes on Yeshua. Keep eyes on Yeshua. We walk by faith. not by sight. So all the noise around us is not going to go away. The question is, what are we paying attention to? Do we know who our Savior is? Do we know that our very life is a miracle? Just as much as Peter walking on the water was a miracle, so is the breath in our lungs and the life that we have is a miracle. Our love for God as humans created in him, in his image, is a miracle. It's a work that he has done. So be blessed. Walk in the blessing of faithfulness in Messiah. Keep your eyes on Yeshua. Shalom.